A very good morning, and let us talk about what is happening in Madagascar. There is a coup which just happened right there, and it's very important for us to be looking at what is happening right there. So Lynn said, Madagascar yazvivarisa, President vari SADC chairman, kuratidza kuti SADC haina basa maningi. Mazimba are good at tolerating BS. Okay. So a lot is happening in Madagascar, and we need to take a look on what really transpired, what really happened in Madagascar. So South Africa is expected to take over the leadership of SADC, I think temporarily, up until things have been sorted out in Madagascar. So we will come and do this video separately and take a look on the way forward, what happens next from this whole issue. But what we have so far is the military sided with the people in Madagascar. And this is a blow to Zanu PF people because, these are signs that there is a reformist agenda which is happening within the SADC region, where the military at a certain point in time will have to side with the people. So this is a signal to Zimbabwe. This is a signal to everybody to say, you have at a certain point in time to stand with the people, stand with the masses, not stand with the oppressors and the elites. That is the message to the military across. So we need to take a look onto key issues happening right there in Madagascar, so that we get insight of what is really happening. So the current situation is that the Generation Z or Gen Z, they sparked protests because of some chronic shortages of basic services, electricity shortages, water, higher unemployment, and also corruption. And this is what led the young people into the streets. And when the protests escalated, soldiers were deployed to deal with protesters. And the elite soldiers, like in Zimbabwe, I think you can put together an Nigerian National Reaction Force in 2018. That team in Madagascar, they sided and joined the people who were in the streets. And the government then responded by dissolving the cabinet, and they appointed a new prime minister who is believed to be a general. But it seems as if the protesters are demanding deeper changes. They want the resignation of the president. So as of last night, the president fled the State House, and that was the situation as of last night. So the soldiers are demanding dialogue. The soldiers are demanding that there is unity and peace. And also they are demanding that other soldiers, they join in not listening to the orders which are illegal. That is the key point which is being raised right there. So what does this coup mean for the SADC region? Because remember, SADC is at stake right now. And this is the chairman of SADC who is under pressure. This is something which is very important, because SADC will likely come and they'll condemn the coup, and they'll say it's unconstitutional. They will not look at the plight of the people. They will not look at what are the demands of the people of Madagascar. So if this coup continues and is successful and the president is deposed and removed, SADC will face pressure. They will need to respond to this. And South Africa is preparing to take over the leadership of SADC so that they help squat or stop whatever which is happening right there in Madagascar. That is the agenda. So there is a risk of instability spreading across SADC, because remember, so many countries are not so happy. You go to Zimbabwe, people are not happy with whatever which is happening. South Africa, they are not happy as well. So there is a likelihood that you might see things escalating in those countries if this continues, because this will be a message and a lesson to say, okay, this is what we have to do if we are not happy with whatever which is happening. So this is something which is very important. And also, we are asking, what is the position of SADC? Why is it that SADC will only try to intervene when things go wrong? So, in Zimbabwe, you have seen South Africa, they run around to try and protect whatever which is happening in Zimbabwe. In Mozambique, South Africa was running around again. And in Madagascar, I'm told that South Africa is preparing also to try and help the current president to stay. So I think the people in Madagascar, they need to be very quick and make sure that he is dismissed and is dismissed for good. So when we are looking at the possibility of sanctions being placed on Madagascar, the chances are so low because the SADC sanctions, they don't work. Even if they impose a diplomatic isolation to Madagascar, it will not work because SADC is a useless organization at all. So you are looking at AU. Will African Union also issue sanctions and diplomatic isolation? It won't work again because these institutions that are useless. They don't serve a purpose. You go to countries like Sudan, there are unending conflicts, right? The DRC, unending conflicts. Both SADC and AU have failed to deal with such situations. So they have also failed to deal with the situation in Zimbabwe where elections were rigged and stolen. And, instead of dealing with the elephant in the room, SADC just kept quiet, just like that. So SADC is a toothless bulldog. If they cannot work on their own reports, if they cannot make sure that they force their members to follow the rules and procedures of SADC, then it doesn't make sense to even sanction any other country. To me, it's just a non-starter. So also there is a precedent which was set in Zimbabwe. When a coup happened in Zimbabwe, SADC did nothing. That coup which ushered them as Sonangaba, they did nothing. And are they going to do anything now that it is Madagascar? It will be a bad precedent. Set a bad precedent already, which means this is a non-starter. So what are the likely responses of SADC? Just in short, SADC is simply going to give a public statement. They are going to urge calm, restraint, dialogue. This is what they are going to do, and they will try to say, okay, we need to facilitate mediation. That is what they are going to say. It depends also on those in Madagascar, the military, if they are going to be in agreement with such a move. So, they will likely say we are suspending Madagascar from the SADC organs. But it's very difficult because the military had to step in because of mass protests which are happening in Madagascar. It's not that the military simply woke up and said, we are now taking over power. No. They sided with the people, said we are not going to shoot people, we are going to follow illegal orders. So it's very difficult for SADC to sanction or suspend Madagascar from the organ. So when it comes to the support of democracy restoration, SADC would likely do nothing because they are weak, they are toothless, and they can't do anything. So what usually happens is that member states, they're always reluctant to apply pressure on another nation because they don't want the same to be done to them at a certain point in time. So also the cost of intervening in Madagascar, they don't have the resources. We know they failed in DRC. So are they going to win in Madagascar? They failed in Zimbabwe. Are they going to win in Madagascar? No. So that is something which is happening. So this is what we're for you, and we will be looking at what is happening. So Zimbabweans, this is a message to those in power within Zimbabwe to say anything can happen. When the military seems to be on your side, it can wake up tomorrow, it's on the other side, and there is nothing you can do about it. So it's a message that things can turn, unexpectedly against you. So you have to do the right thing each and every time. And also, it's a message to Zimbabweans that for you to deal with your own problems, you need to not to be fearful. You need to make sure that you peacefully demonstrate and you peacefully, make your concerns be known. And I think that is what happened in Madagascar, and Zimbabweans might follow suit. That is the reason why there is panic everywhere. And Zanu PF has been trying to dispel anything about peaceful protests in the nation of Zimbabwe. They are trying to make it a case which, if you engage in peaceful protests, you suffer the consequences. So this is what we have for you. SADC chairperson in Madagascar fled the state house as the military sided with the protesters. So we will be giving you updates on what is really happening right there in Madagascar. And if there is a transition happening, we will be updating you accordingly. So let me take some comments right here. Both will say is Wondom Africa, the only way kwete kuswera tichiudza SADC ID Coup. So I believe that is how we are going to see transitions happening in Africa. We are likely going to see a lot of countries following suit. We are likely going to see countries like Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, South Africa. We are likely going to see those countries following suit. If Angola might also be part and parcel of that. So we will see what happens. We'll see if the people of Zimbabwe will heed the call of General Geza, dzekuti ngatipinde mstreet muswa wa 17. So Zanu PF is saying mukapinda mstreet mchazviona, and the other people are saying tiri kutongopinda by force by Ginde. We will see what happens then.